And we are back, some more Calgary Flames franchise mode, and in this one we have the Year 8 playoffs, starting out against the Vegas Golden Knights. Let's get right into it. Here we go. Game 1 against Vegas will be a 5-3 Vegas win. Shots are 33-30 in favor of Vegas. 3 stars of the game: Pisaric, Elfring, and Testa. First period, you have Rondeau with the goal for Vegas, make it 1-0. Then you have Elfring from Muse to make it 1-1. Then Lindbergh scores for Vegas to make it 2-1 heading into the second, where Pegamagabo scores from Jacques and Wright to get to 2-2 at the start of the second period. Then Blais on the power play for Vegas makes it 3-2. Igumenov from Elfring and Muse makes it 3-3. And then Hellstrom for Vegas makes it 4-3. And then the third period, Luca Testa for Vegas makes it the 5-3 victory for them. Oh boy, Emile Jacques out with an injury. Calf strain. Okay. Should be back sometime this series. But still, that's a key player we're missing there for a couple of games there. All right, game number 2 against Vegas. There you go. There is the 3-2 victory. Shots of 32-27 in favor of Vegas. 3 stars of the game: Meehan, Hellstrom, and Glockner. So first period, Brody Meehan scores from Guyao and Oleg Igumenov. Then in the second period, you have Shane Wright from Pegamagabo and Coronado. And then Sheets shorthanded from Cody Glockner makes it 3-0. And then Rondeau and Hellstrom with the goals to make it 3-2. Makes it interesting. But that is the final score. A little too late for Vegas. All right, going into Vegas now, tied 1-1. Game number 3 will be a 4-3 victory for your Calgary Flames. Shots are 38-28 in favor of Calgary. 3 stars of the game: Fortman, Blais, and Elfring. First period, Rondeau scores for Vegas to get them up 1-0, but then Fortman from Antolovsky and Sheets makes it 1-1. Then you have Hedquist for the goal from Elfring, and Antolovsky makes it 2-1. Then Jeremy Blais gets a tie before the end of the period. Second period, you have Luca Testa scoring for Vegas, gets them ahead by 1, but then Doug Elfring from Jason Sheets gets it tied once again, and then Henry Muse with the game winner from Coronado and Fortman, as there was no scoring in the third. All right, game number 4, and we take a 3-1 lead. Yes, we do. A 4-1 victory in game number 4. Shots at 43-20 in favor of your Calgary Flames. 3 stars of the game: Antolovsky, Elfring, and Fortman. First period, you have Hinton with the goal from Muse and Guyao. Then you have Antolovsky from Glockner, makes it 2-0. Second period, you have Elfring with a goal from Antolovsky and Fortman, and then Elfring with another goal from Antolovsky. The third period, Pisaric gets a goal early on for Vegas, but that would be their only goal of the game. We win 4-1. So let's not waste any time, and let's get straight into round number 2 without having to worry about any other injuries here. And speaking of injuries, Emile Jacques is ready to go. So here we go. Game number 5 underway. There's a goal from Mata right off the bat for Vegas, 30 seconds in. And there's 2-0. Anthony Salonen for Vegas. All right, so we go the rest of the first period without another goal. Don't like to see it. There it is. Matthew Coronado from Wright and Pegamagabo makes it 2-1. Oh boy, Simon Lindbergh gets the goal for Vegas. Makes it 3-1. Oh no. Major injury for Cody Glockner. A fractured thumb. That's the rest of the playoffs. So we're down. Pretty significant piece there in Glockner. That is definitely unfortunate. Come on, Calgary. There you go. Henry Muse from Coronado and Wright. Peterak makes it 4-2 Vegas. What? It's saying goal by Jake Ryuka from Shaika and McFowle, but the score didn't change. It's saying he doesn't have a goal over here. What? Is that like a disallowed goal or something? And it just showed me. I swear the score was 4-2 before, but it says he doesn't have a goal over here, and it didn't count it on the score. I've never seen that happen before. Okay, let's keep going, I guess. Is this like a phantom goal or something like that? Very weird situation. We'll play out the rest of the game here, but I have no idea what to make of that. Oh, okay, just updated just now. That was weird. It took a little while for it to update. I've never seen that before. So I guess we're officially down 5-2, and we got a mountain to climb here in the third. Come on, Calgary. Yeah, all right. Shane Wright from Coronado and Pegamagabo. Come on, Calgary. Doesn't look like it's happening. Yep, Vegas gets another one. Anthony Salonen makes it 6-3, and that is the end of game number 5. We have to go to game number 6. That's what 35-37 in favor of Calgary Flames. 3 stars of the game: Ryuka, Salonen, and Pisaric. Yep, Cody Glockner out for 2-3 weeks. Okay, that's not as long as I thought it would be. I thought that would be for the rest of the playoffs. All right, come on, Calgary. Game number 6 now. First period underway. There it is. Franklin Fortman from Elfring and Jacques. Up 1-0. There it is. Oleg Igumenov from Sheets and Meehan makes it 2-0. Coronado from Wright and Mooney makes it 3-0. And we get out of the first, up by 3. Not bad. There's one for Vegas. Paterick makes it 3-1. Still good heading to the third, though. We're up by 2. Give me an insurance marker here, Calgary. Oh, there's one for Hellstrom. Come on, Calgary. Come on, Calgary. Don't choke this. There we go. Okay. Still get it done in the end, and we do win this series in 6 games. Shots at 33-25 in favor of Vegas. 3 stars of the game, Elfring, Virag, and Fortman. And we have Seattle in the second round. They were 53, 26, and 3 during the regular season, so this should be interesting. I believe they were second place in our division, only to us. So here we go. Game number 1 against Seattle is going to be a 3-2 Calgary victory. Shots are 42-26 in favor of Seattle, but we win the game. 3 stars of the game, Muse, Forster, and Debut with a 952 save percentage. First period, you have Drolet with the goal for Seattle. Second period, you have Hinton from Pegamagabo, makes it 1-1. And then the third period, Drolet with another goal. But then that's followed up by Pegamagabo from Yao and Jacques. And then Muse from Elfring and Antolovsky makes it the 3-2 victory. Oh boy, Henry Muse is injured. 1 to 2 weeks from back soreness. Not good. So that means we're going to have to call up a defenseman here. I'll probably be Mark Fast. All right, game number 2 versus Seattle will be a 5-3 Calgary victory. Shots are 33-25 in favor of Seattle. 3 stars of the game, Mooney, Body, and Wright. First period, you have Wright with the goal from Mooney and Fortman. Then you have Mooney from Coronado and Antolovsky, makes it 2-0. Heading into the second period, where Rubruk scores to get Seattle on the board, and then Body with the goal to make it tied at 2. But then Mark Fast, the injury call-up, gets the goal from Fascia and Wright to make it 3-2. In the third period, you have Goer with the goal to make it tied, but then Shane Wright from Byram and Mooney, and then Fascia with the empty netter from Meehan makes it the 5-3 victory for us in game number 2. Here we go, game number 3, and we make it a 3-0 series. No, we do not. Seattle holds on with a 2-1 victory. Shots were 27-34 in favor of Seattle. 3 stars of the game, Rubruk, Egumenov, and Squires. First period, you have Egumenov with a goal from Meehan and Mooney, but then Rubruk on the power play makes it 1-1. No scoring in the second, and the third, no scoring either, which means we take it to overtime where Zasinski scores for Seattle on the power play to make it a 2-1 victory for them. Oh no, Antolovsky down with an injury. How long? Looks like it might be a decent amount of time. Yeah, minor neck laceration. 1 to 2 weeks. You don't like to see it. That means you now have... On the first line, you have Yao, Meehan, and Elfring. And the second line is Hedquist, Hinton, and Pegamagabo. The third line, Torka, Wright, and Grieve. And then Coronado, Egumenov, and Chevetti. Those are certainly some very interesting line combinations there. We'll see what happens with them. All right, game number 4 against Seattle. That's it. We have a 4-2 Seattle victory. 55 shots to 34. My goodness. 3 stars of the game, Kakoven, Grieve, and Body. First period, they ran away with it instantly. Rubruk with the goal 24 seconds in, and then Kasper and then Stenberg on the power play makes it 3-0 by the end of the first. And you have Emile Jacques with the first goal of the game for us from Fortman and Grieve, but then Drolet scores to make it 4-1, and then Coronado with the goal from Mooney and Wright, make it 4-2, and then no scoring in the third. So yeah, that was definitely an unfortunate game, especially in shots against. That was a bit rough. Definitely missing some of our better players in Glockner and Creech, and obviously Muse and Antolovsky as well, who are on the injury list. Come on, guys. Game number 5 here. Key game number 5. You could argue whoever wins this wins the series. Come on, Calgary. Oh, man. 8-1. That's just an ugly game all around. 50 shots to 15. Oh, dear. That's rough. 3 stars of the game, Zonin, Lindner, and Kakoven. First period, Zonin with the goal for Seattle early on, and then you have Lindner with the goal to make it 2-0. Fortman with the lone goal of the game for us from Wright and Elfring makes it 2-1. But then Rubruk scores, and then the third period is just all Seattle. Sasinski, Goer, Body, Lindner, Stenberg. I mean, yeah, that's a rough one. That was rough. We got outshot by more than triple. We got outscored by 7. Like, that's all around terrible, terrible game. And we find ourselves in a hole. We need to win 2 games in a row in order to come back here. Come on, Elfring. I need you to step up here. I mean, I know you've been great so far during these playoffs. He's got 9 points in 11 games played, but I need to see a little bit more. I need to see the kind of performance that he had 2 years ago in the playoffs. 27 points in 18 games played. That's the kind of performance we need to get past the Seattle Kraken here, it looks like, because they've just been, for the most part, pretty dominant. Even in the games they lost, they still outshot us. So, yeah. They've definitely been outplaying us, and it's unfortunate we don't have Muse or Antolovsky or Glockner or Creech for that matter. So we're certainly missing quite a few key players, but not much we can do about it. We just gotta hope we can come back here. All right, here we go. Elimination game 6. Come on, Calgary. Take it to a game 7. Come on, Calgary. Oh man, West Body scores for Seattle. Makes it 1-0. Go the whole first period without a goal. Don't like to see it. Second period underway. There it is. Gu Yao scores from Pegamagabo and Fast. We're in it still. All right. For the rest of the second without a goal, and we are tied heading into the third period. Come on, Calgary. Oh no. Lindner with the goal. Makes it 2-1 Seattle. Casper with the goal. Makes it 3-1 Seattle. 4-1 Seattle. Oh man. Yeah, that's it's not pretty. And we lose in 6 games to the Seattle Kraken. Shots were 37-30 in favor of Seattle. 3 stars a game. Casper, Rubruk, and Body. I mean, you're missing a 3.5-star defenseman. Got 65 points during the regular season. You're missing your first line center who had 51 points and very good defensively as well. You're missing a top 4 defenseman in Glockner, who's very good defensively and a good 2-way defenseman. And then Braden Creech, of course, who was our first line winger to start the season. He, of course, goes down with a very long-term injury and just very unfortunate. This team could have gone far, honestly, if not for the injuries. It really could have. I mean, of course, we still had guys like Elfring and Pekamagabo and Jacques, so we weren't totally helpless, but we were definitely missing quite a few key pieces there, which inevitably, I suppose, led to our downfall during these playoffs. And no use dwelling on what could have happened because, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. But yeah, just very unfortunate. It certainly will not make it easier to sign Doug Elfring going into this offseason. Obviously, he doesn't want to re-sign his contract, so we're going to have to get him back through free agency means. And I just hope, I'm crossing my fingers, that he's not going to ask for like 15 million. But I will do everything in my power to get him back, don't you worry. And I think that involves saying goodbye to Bowen Byram, who's making 4.8 this year. Really did not do too well either in the regular season or playoffs. I mean, he had 31 points during the regular season, but his grades were not all too phenomenal. Like, he was definitely the weakest out of all our defensemen. And that makes sense given he's 35 years of age. You know, he's coming up toward the end of his career now. So I think it's time to move on from him. Demkowski probably not going to re-sign. I mean, we got him for dirt cheap in a trade, so I don't mind releasing him at this point. He's 27. And honestly, Sorquist did better, so I wouldn't mind going into next season with Debu and Sorquist. So speaking of which, I will re-sign Sorquist. He wants 1.1 for 2 years. I will do that. I'm on the fence about Wright because, I mean, he had a good performance during the regular season, but he wants 3 years, 5.3, and a no movement clause as a 33-year-old. And I would rather play it safe with Elfring. I want to know for sure how much money he wants going to free agency, and I don't know that right now, considering he doesn't even want to tell me. So for right now, I'm going to let Wright walk. And then if we still have enough money to sign him and Elfring, then I'll do it. But I don't want to re-sign him right now, only to have him take up 5.3 of cap. And for that to be 5.3 of cap that we might need to sign Elfring, right? So I think that's got to be the way to go here. Meehan wants 5.2 as well, but I have him on auto qualify, so we'll still have his rights. Tilly, you got to go. You're asking for 1.6 for 2 years, and he's been in the minors the past 2 years. Nielsen, I'll resign. Fast, if you're cheap, I'll resign you. Yeah, you're cheap. I'll resign Stull. Not going to resign Fassia. He wants 2.6, and he was a depth defenseman anyway. And I believe that is it as far as re-signings go. Dan Henderson has gotten pretty good during his time in the USHL so far. 2.5-star ability. If we can't afford to re-sign Wright, then Henderson might be the replacement there. He's looking pretty solid for a 2.5-star ability. But before we go any further, let's check out the playoff stats. See where everyone was at. 12 games played, Wright had 11 points. So definitely do want to re-sign him if I can. But again, Elfring's got to take priority here. And speaking of the man himself, 9 points in 12 games played for him. 8 points for Coronado, 7 for Fortman, Pegamagabo, and Antolovsky. 6 for Muse and Mooney. 4 for Igumunov, Jacques, Sheets, Meehan, and Yao. 2 for Hinton, Fast, Fassia, and Glockner. 1 for Hedquist, Byram, and Grieve. Breach, of course, did not play. Torka and Chivetti with no points. And Debu in 12 games played with a 906, and it appears Sorquist actually got in there for 4 minutes during one game and let up a goal on 4 shots. Yeah, I guess there was just no stopping Seattle this year, was there? They win the Stanley Cup, and they make it look easy. They get through LA in a sweep in the first round. They get through your Calgary Flames in the second in 6 games. They beat Dallas in 5, and they sweep through the Detroit Red Wings in the finals. Yeah, that's they were a tough team, that's for sure. We saw it firsthand. Let's just try one more time. Yeah, I didn't think so. I know we took a huge risk this year by not trading him, but still, I can't imagine him in any other uniform. We got to get him back. We just have to. All right, so it's now June 23rd, so I think we'll sign Dan Henderson. I think I'll leave Tim Knight in college for right now. I think he used one more year there. And I think that's the only signing I want to do for right now for unsigned players. And time for the awards. For the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Maurice Richard is Yuri Rausa of Detroit, who this year had 59 goals, 52 assists for 111 points. My goodness. Then the Lady Bing goes to Jeremy Blais. The Bill Masterton goes to Miro Heiskanen. The Mark Messier Leadership Award goes to Logan Cooley. And the Jennings Trophy goes to Alan Anderson of Detroit. For the heart between Cooley, Rausa, and Castillo goes to Yuri Rausa of Detroit. The Conn Smythe goes to Ryan Rubrook of Seattle. Yeah, that makes sense. He was a beast in that series against us. Calder between Nick Caprice, Carl Eric Falk, and Alan Anderson is Alan Anderson of Detroit with a 926 save percentage and 10 shutouts in 51 games played. My goodness. And Heiskanen with the Norris Trophy. That's unfortunate. And for the Selke between Antolovsky, Elfring, and Rhodes. So 2 out of 3 nominees are from your Calgary Flames. It will be Doug Elfring for the second time in his career. So good to see that. Hopefully we're able to re-sign him in the free agency. Vesna between Anderson, Ivanikov, and Peltonen. It is Alan Anderson of Detroit. Executive of the Year between Leahy, Miller, and yours truly. Yay, there it is. We win Executive of the Year for the second time this GM mode. Not bad. And the Jack Adams between Zach Fitzgerald, Mark Stewart, and John Hydes come out of Fitzgerald. There it is. We get Coach of the Year and GM of the Year. So while we didn't get to win the Stanley Cup, I will certainly take Executive of the Year, the Jack Adams, and the Frank J. Selke. That's a decent way to cap off this year. Could have been better though, obviously. And here's our season score. We got Manager of the Year, reached the playoffs, had a winning season, had a winning percentage of 600 or better, and finished first. We did not reach the finals or win the championship, meaning our total season score is 27, bringing the total career score to 430. I think I'll put the points into maxing out tactics, and then I'll get player motivation up to 15. Oh, really? Max Hydes retires at 31 years of age as well. Then Byram retires as well. So I think this would be a great place to end it off. Got to end it off on a cliffhanger. Will Doug Elfring re-sign with your Calgary Flames?